We know that earning money is quite crucial these days, which is why we have prepared this video for you as a reminder on what are the things you should avoid so that you could achieve your investment goal by the end of 2022. But before we begin, this is Investing Path. And please make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and while you're at it, click the subscribe and bell button to stay updated for more of our videos. But other than that, let's begin. You should postpone major purchases like first and business class plane tickets until later in life. When you have a lot of money, you should treat yourself to a first class or business class flight. For example, if you need to be at your best day off, or the day following, your return from a long-haul flight, business or first class is the way to go. The catch is that you have to begin comparing prices because you can no longer deduct it as a company cost. Last but not the least, a word of caution to those of you who make $300,000 to $400,000 a year and want to fly business class for the first time. Do your research. For the simple reason that once you've flown long-haul business class, you can never go back to economy. In your 20s, bottle service is the next social faux pas to avoid. We know a few people who manage some of the world's top clubs, so we're familiar with the business side of things. It is hilarious, for example, that a bottle that retails for $150 may cost as much as $800 because it comes with a few sparklers. Additionally, you'll need to buy multiple bottles, at least 5, in order to acquire the sparkling wine. But this is largely a matter of psychology. Clubs couldn't survive if men didn't enter with the expectation that if they buy enough alcohol, women will eventually make their way to their table, where they can hopefully score a fling. We're not discouraging clubbing in general, but it is best to avoid going out to nightclubs unless you know you'll just be acting stupid with your pals and spending all your money. Next, a pricey television is something you should steer clear of. First, every 2 to 3 years, you'll feel like you need the newest and greatest technology or version. But that's not the true reason. This is a bad idea. Spending a lot of money on something that actively hinders your ability to create money or enjoy life is foolish. You need to consider the second-order effects of your purchases in addition to the initial price tag. Now that you've invested in the TV financially, you feel compelled to watch it. Spending money on OnlyFans is our next piece of advice. Yeah, we know there are a lot of problems with this. But first of all, it is hilarious to see the dudes who won't pay $20 for Skillshare because they think it's a fraud to get access to an infinite library of courses. Instead of investing $20 in Skillshare, they'll gladly pay for a subscription to a girl's OnlyFans site. This is because OnlyFans reinforce the idea that the subscriber has a lot of women in their lives. And for another, paying a girl for access to her body is an acceptable last resort. And so, a small piece of advice, do not pay for merely admirers. Regardless of your financial status, we live in a sad world in which this is becoming frequent. After clothes, jewelry is a no-no in your 20s. You must realize a 40 to 80% loss in value at the moment of purchase. For this reason, unless you're buying a gift for someone you know would appreciate it, say for example your mother, your girlfriend, your wife, you should steer clear of jewelry. Example, the value of a watch, a platinum green dial, is close to $500,000, although most people wouldn't even know it existed. Just keep in mind that it's not the amount of money you put into something that matters, but rather the amount of money you lose. Because if you spend a lot of money on something but you are just parking your money there, you can rest assured that your money is secure. When investing in something like a watch, a car, or a piece of collectible art, when you know your money is safe, you're not spending it or losing it. You're only parking it. Another thing we notice is that many people in their 20s, especially those who listen to a lot of rappers, are obsessed with wearing flashy jewelry. It is not a lot, maybe $50,000 worth of jewelry from Van Cleef, Cartier, and a few smaller brands, but we can tell you that I wear nothing more than a watch, or sometimes none at all given the prevalence of watch theft, and a few strands of jewelry wherever you go. In this case, less is more. The next thing to stay away from, and this is something we see many people doing, which honestly saddens us greatly, is any kind of crypto or gambling signal groups. You should be aware that if you invest $2,000 in a trading group, or cryptocurrencies, or gambling, and end up losing $1,800 or $1,900, you will have lost your entire investment. So, we would advise you to stay away from any form of club that deals with gambling or crypto signals. Everything is discussed from a high-level, macroeconomic risk viewpoint. They never bring up a small-cap altcoin or anything like that. The other thing we would say is that if you do receive these subscriptions, the problem is, let's suppose you know this individual is lucky that day, and they do happen to make the right decision. But the rest of the time, it is just about observing the market circumstances as a whole. You have learned that the only way to get money is by mimicking someone else's trade, rather than using your own magnificent brain to create something of value for someone else in exchange for payment. Avoid joining any signal groups that focus on short-term speculative investments, cryptocurrencies, or gambling. Strip clubs and casinos are the last types of establishment you should patronize in your 20s. If you make $100,000 a year and you go to a casino and blow $3,000 in one day, that's just some funny money for the day. And we see a lot of people who go to casinos or strip clubs and spend money haphazardly or with the wrong motives. If you have the money to spend without worrying about it, then there's nothing inherently wrong with engaging in such activities. But if you are in your 20s, don't do it. There are other ways to spend your money. You will not find this list of 7 items to avoid buying any place. We're not here to tell you not to buy your $5 coffee or stop going to beautiful, pricey restaurants with your friends. But rather, we've brought you a list today that is honest, truthful, and straightforward with regard to the things on it. But if you still have anything in mind that you'd like to include for the list, then feel free to share them in the comment section below, and we'll make sure to include them on our next video. Other than that, thanks for watching. This is Investing Path. And if you like this one, then might as well click the like, subscribe, and bell button to stay updated for more of our financing and personal investment content. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you soon.